Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes.
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes.
Introducing Yes International Magazine.
How would you describe life, at 50?
Well, first of all, I like to give honor and glory to God Almighty for the gift of life, because it's not easy. By official statistics, the life expectancy in Nigeria is around 54 or thereabout. So to clock 50 in Nigeria is a big achievement. So it feels great to be 50. I give God the glory and the honor.
Okay. So what would you describe as the greatest lesson that life has taught you at 50?
Well, I would say the greatest lesson is the virtue of patience. Virtue of patience. When we were in our 20s, our mindset was different. You wanted the instant gratification for almost everything. When you got to 30s, you were forced by circumstance to modify some of your expectations. In the 40s, it's different. But when you get to 50, you start realizing that, look, sometimes what counts don't matter. And what matter do not count. So you try to take one step at a time. So for me, the greatest lesson is patience. Believing that what God has destined will come to pass. And God's time is different from ours. We think for the moment. God has a longer view of things. So there are things you anchor after, things you want. And in God's wisdom, He will say, no, you don't need this now. I'd rather give you this. So you probably will come to wisdom maybe a few years down the line. So, it was nice I didn't get there when I wanted. God's time is the best. So for me, the lesson is patience. You just have to be patient. Whatever God has destined, it will come to pass.
What would you describe as your greatest accomplishment at 50?
Wow, that's a tough one. Well, I would say my greatest accomplishment is my family. My greatest my family is my greatest asset. It's my greatest accomplishment. When I look at the people around me, I feel loved. I feel fulfilled. So my greatest achievement is my family.
Okay. Now, do you have any regrets at 50?
Definitely. I have lots of regrets, because when I sit back now and reflect, I realize that some decisions I took in the past were not informed by wisdom, were not informed by reason. So if I have a second chance, I certainly would have acted differently. And when I also look back, I realize some people I fell out with in the past, the reason were not tangible. I mean, the reason were not tangible. So if I have an opportunity now, I will apologize for acting out of immaturity. So for me, life is good now, but again, one is able to also understand life in a more nuanced manner. In a more nuanced manner. We all have our inadequacies. And the true test of maturity is giving a space to the next person. You just have to consider that people are not bound to think the way you think. So you try to make allowance. Oh, no. If it were me, that's my standard. Oh, I agree. Maybe they don't think the way I think. So let me make allowance for them.
Now, let's say, that this is the first phase of your life. What are you looking forward to accomplishing, in the next phase of your life? Let's say in the next 50 years, if God tarries.
You know, in an earlier encounter with our big brother, the CEO of City People, Sheye Kehinde,
Okay.
he posed a similar question. That, I mean, what would you regard as your next target? And my response was that you won't believe it. I don't usually anchor after anything. Finally, you know, if you tell that to our average person, say, you are NFA, no future ambition. I don't usually say, oh, in another 1 year, 5 years, this is what I want to achieve. Whatever models, things I would regard as accomplishment, there are things I never planned for. But I just allow myself to be guided by certain value. Wherever I find myself, I try to apply myself fully. I give every opportunity my best shot. So if I succeed, I will count it as what God has destined. So if I miss, I just take it in my stride and move on. I consider myself to be a very serious-minded person. I'm also somebody who subscribes to certain value of honesty, loyalty to people, loyalty to friends, to family. I apply myself seriously if I'm giving an assignment. So I honestly don't usually say, in another 5 years, I want to build a house. I want to buy a car, or I want to be governor. I want to be usually that's not my style. But whatever I am opportune or I have opportunity to do, I always throw myself at it.
Okay.
Sometimes I tell people that when I became commissioner in Edo State, I reluctantly accept. As a matter of fact, I think it was the second time Governor Shomole, Comrade Shomole made the offer that I accepted. And I went there reluctantly. And then when I told my job was done, and I told Comrade, yeah, Comrade, my time is up. He was surprised. And I said, look, I know first and foremost, journalism is my comfort zone. And I miss journalism and I want to go back to my profession and also go and spend more time with my family. When the news broke in Edo State that I resigned, people couldn't believe it. Some people said, did you fall out with Oshomole? Did you quarrel with him? I said, no. Some other guys said, you the crazy. People lobby to be commissioner. Now you are working it. I said, for me, those are, for me, it's not a big deal. So for that reason, why I say this is that I don't anchor after anything. The same thing, the appointment with the federal government, the appointment I got from federal government, I didn't lobby to get, they called me one day and said, Louis, we'd like you to join us, come and take. And I reflected, I went to Edo State. I came out untainted with my integrity intact. So let me also give it a shot. And it's been a privilege working with Vice President Oshibajo. For me, my experience has been enriched, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity. So to come back to your question, I don't lobby for appointments. I don't anchor after anything. But wherever I find myself, I just apply myself. So I leave the God. So the future is in God's hands.